Good things can have humble beginnings. Great things are told in a tavern. Long Rest is a comedy radio play D&D podcast entirely told after battles at a tavern. Listen to the saga of misadventures, social awkwardness, and a mystery or two. Grab a seat at the table. Hashtag, come for the ale, stay for the tale. Episode 104, Hatching Plans.
Welcome back to The Long Rest, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast set entirely between the battles at the Long Rest Tavern. Our accidental group joins forces to adventure and gain riches, but egos, bad habits, and family lend to unpredictable exploits. I am Robb, your Dungeon Master. Tonight's show is brought to you by Buddy's Nat 20 Proof. You've gone with the rest, now try the best. Buddy's Nat 20 Proof is hand-brewed by a dirty, smelly fearbog, and it is amazing. On the Long Rest, our bard and rogue, after having made a precarious deal with the Thieves Guild to raise 10,000 gold in 10 weeks to save the tavern from an intentional fire, determined that all they needed was a group of adventurers with specific prowess. Serendipity brought them something else. A young cleric, high elf with raven hair, unapologetically nice, on a mission to serve. She is a healer, and there is kindness in her face, named Artie. A wise, older dwarf with gray mixed in with black hair and beard. A quiet, wise man with many adventures past that may have one last adventure in him. He revealed to the bard and rogue that he had had many adventures with their parents before they died. He has joined this adventure to keep an eye on the boys. He is called Orin. A sorcerer gnome, Thorne, Sky Striker Stells. He makes up with heart what he lacks in smarts. He has a somewhat weathered book bag that is overfilled and does not seem to burden him. And he appears to have some Feywild magic in him. He is called Thorne. Lastly, there is a wizard that is an analytically minded scientist who considers others as subjects more than relations. She is outspoken, but seems to be clearly full of secrets. She is called Elizabeth. Last week found our sorcerer's Feywild magic is triggered by alcohol. Too much alcohol. This unpredictable burst of magic had the group floating up and up for every insensitive remark. The answer to dispel this magic? Speaking honestly from the heart. Back on solid ground and the coins counted, there was one coin left that had fallen from the sorcerer's bag. This coin was very distinctive, ancient with a mountain on it. Our dwarf, being familiar with these relics, noted that it's how dwarven travelers used to mark the lairs of dragons, and this one in particular had been abandoned for years. You know what that means. They had their next mission.
Loot, 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 loot. Put your back into it, warrior. Lift. Huzzah!
Our zestful adventurers drop an enormous pile of toys on the table, and something even more enormous is placed on top of it.
Now this is what we've been needing. Gold, gems, art, a literal dragon horde.
And the pièce de résistance, carried for 3 days by none other than yours truly, a dragon egg.
I told you I could have carried it.
You could barely lift that thing without your gloves bursting into flames. We're lucky Artie over here is fireproof.
Ha! What's a few burns? That's what we have a cleric for. Holy magic.
Please don't go around hurting yourselves on purpose. Thorne consumes enough of my spell slots for the both of you.
Ouch!
Thorne, be careful!
Thank you.
All right, gang. You know the drill. No drinks until we get everything counted and ready to sell.
Well, not everything, obviously.
We're selling the dragon egg. End of conversation.
Whoa, hey, hold on just a second.
I was talking to the other day.
Okay, not the end of conversation.
First of all, is it even yours to sell?
It certainly doesn't belong to the party.
It belongs to me, or are we all forgetting who carried it back over 3 days of travel?
Fireproof.
Fire resistant, truth be told.
Artie's right. He should get to decide what we do with it.
Yes.
Let's see how long that lasts.
Shut it. All right, Artie. Just know if you keep it, I'm not picking up after it.
Ooh, I'll help.
Good thinking there, Thorne. Dragon dung is quite useful in spells.
It is?
You certainly should not be keeping it. It is a dangerous creature that could cause untold damage.
I'm going to have to go with Aurea on this one. You don't know what will come of that thing.
Artie, what are you going to do?
I don't know. You're all making rather convincing points, and frankly, I wasn't too sure even before you all started talking.
Listen here, son. What you need to do is return that damn egg.
Don't listen to him. Dwarves and dragons do not mix. What we really should do...
All right, everyone, hold on. You're all yelling at once, and I can't understand any of it. Now, tell you what. Everyone, take a couple of minutes and think through what you want me to do with the egg, and then you can present your ideas without interruption, okay?
A council of sorts.
Perfect. Gives me time to check on other things.
No, you need to return the egg.
When you carry the next egg back, you can be the one who decides what happens.
Or we could work on our pitch and decide this egg's fate.
Fine.
Everyone but the bard gets up and slowly separates into groups.
Hey, little buddy. I'm gonna keep you safe, you hear?
There is a light tapping from within the egg.
Ooh, I felt a kick. Oh, you know your papa, huh?
The party has now split. The rogue heading to a corner table, dwarf and cleric heading to a back room, and sorcerer and wizard sitting up at the bar, where Thorne is eyeing the liquor shelf with intensity.
Focus, Thorne. There's a whole dragon at stake.
Okay. How do we win that dragon?
We need to first decide our goal. What is the thesis of our argument?
It would be really cool to have a dragon as a pet.
A pet? Sure. But I think our best course of action here is to... Thorne! Step away from the bottle.
Just a splash.
We need to focus on our... Is that buddy's not 20 proof?
Artie always keeps a bottle on hand.
What, for burning off warts? You know, it's basically the strongest alcohol in the market, right? I use it to clean my cauldrons.
So you don't want any?
No, it's barely even noon.
An evil thought creeps into the wizard's head.
But That shouldn't stop you from enjoying it.
The wizard waves her wand at the bottle, and it hovers in the air, pouring Thorne a shot, which he shoots back with a shake and a shiver.
Just a splash.
Woo! That's certainly something. Tastes like the stuff we had back at home.
Listen, Thorne, I know you want to keep that dragon, right?
Oh, more than anything. Just imagine it. Our own pet dragon.
The bottle fills another shot.
That would be great. Sure. We wouldn't be able to see it as often, but that's fine, right?
Wait. What do you mean?
Well, a pet. They'd have to stay here when we go adventuring.
But wouldn't a pet dragon be able to fight with us?
Whoa, you're not thinking of a pet, and neither was I.
Then what?
She leans in close.
A weapon.
Oh, I don't want it to get hurt.
Trust me, with the proper training, no one will even have the chance. And you two could still be friends.
And we could still name it. Something fun. Ooh, what's a good dragon's name?
How about naming it after one of the 4 great dragons? There's Dunraven the Red, Murrig the Gold, Galax the Green, and of course, Halloran the Silver.
What about Gus?
We can name it Gus, yes. A living weapon that could level whole cities. Let's call it Gus. So we are agreed?
Yeah, we'll vote for it to be, a weapon. Gus, the weapon.
In the back room, our dwarf has definite ideas on what needs to happen.
Now that thing is dangerous.
I agree.
That boy is being a fool.
Agreed.
We need to put it right back where we found it.
I disagree.
What? And keep it here? You're insane. It'll destroy the entire coastline.
That is not what I am saying.
Well, what then? We're not killing it.
Why not?
What? You have no honor.
This is not about honor. It's about saving lives.
That's trading lives. We'd be killing a child.
We'd be killing an egg.
And what makes you think we could even kill it?
We have our ways.
I don't like it. I'm going to do what's right. You can do whatever you want.
The dwarf storms out of the room, past the rogue, who is surrounded by papers in the corner booth.
No, he's been caught too many times. What about... Crow can always get me a cellar, but he's... Oh yeah, turned into a crow.
The bard, who has been watching from the treasure table, comes over.
What's all this?
Black market network. Fences, thieves, people who can sell dragon eggs quickly.
I'm pretty sure that's just the Watersgate newspaper.
It is, but for urchins like me who know how to read it, it's a great way to find who's selling. And who's buying.
Selling and buying what exactly? This doesn't sound wholesome.
It's certainly not the most wholesome way to go about it.
And how exactly are you connected to them?
You don't live long on the streets of Watersgate unless you know where to find jobs that the upstanding won't take.
Oh, sorry to hear.
It's okay. We just need to sell this dragon egg to the right person, so I won't have to go back to that. And I think I've found them.
Ooh, are you ready?
Yes, indeed.
All right, everyone, come on, Elizabeth, Thorne, okay, 3 groups.
4.
Okay, how do we decide who's first?
So I've been looking
Everyone starts voicing their opinions
I
at
need
once.
to buy or sell this whole thing.
Okay, stop! Tell you what, I think I saw a gaming set in here.
He reaches into the treasure hoard and pulls out a solid gold gaming set containing a golden cup and 7 4-sided dice, all made of gold. He removes one of the dice, holding it up for the others to see.
Okay, your number comes up, you go.
He tosses the dice into the air. It bounces with a plink off the dragon egg, landing in front of his brother.
4. That's me.
All right, give us the pitch.
We all know the situation with the bar. There's no need to rehash it again. But this dragon egg alone could make that whole situation history. We could finish this thing now. All we need is the right seller.
Is it one of your Thieves Guild contacts?
We shouldn't be selling this creature to a criminal.
No rebuttals. Wait your turn.
It's Someone I knew through the Thieves Guild, but not someone in the Thieves Guild.
You said earlier you knew some pretty sketchy folks. How criminally is this one?
Crime adjacent, but mostly he works as a fence just down by the docks.
How often does he deal with necromancers and such?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Wait your turn!
He smuggles magical creatures and sells them to the ships that come from the far north.
What's to the north?
I mean, there's been a war between the northern kingdoms as far as anyone can remember.
I can attest to that.
You want us to become war criminals?
It either stays here and burns down the city, or it helps put an end to a conflict.
I don't know. How much could you get?
50,000 gold.
We'd be paid off.
5 times over. That's good math.
But would our souls?
There aren't many options that don't end up with people dying. At least this one, we're compensated for our choice.
I'll think about it.
Think about 50,000 gold.
If I may.
Nope. You've got to wait for your roll.
He throws the dice, which clatters around the table.
Roll cocked. Roll again. 4. Orin.
My plan is simple. We put the damn thing back where it came from.
Yeah, nice. Okay, what's your actual plan?
That is my plan.
Well, that's a quick nope. I am not lugging this thing across the countryside for 3 more days.
It's our best bet. You heard him. Dragons are legendary beasts of destruction. We'll lose 3 days of adventure, but we won't be putting people in danger.
That's 3 days there and 3 days back.
It's our only choice, son.
It's 1 of 4. Let me think about it.
4? We don't even know if they have a viable choice.
So true.
You fools are going to get us all killed.
Come on, dice. 3. 1, 2, 3. Elizabeth and Thorne.
It's our turn.
After a few of Buddy's nat 20 proof, our sorcerer seems full of sass.
Are you two ready?
Of course. Thorne and I have prepared a better argument than becoming war criminals or giving up what is rightfully ours.
Rightfully ours. I carried it.
Our bard whispers to the egg.
Don't listen.
This should belong to everyone.
Thorne, calm down.
You good?
He's fine. He's just a little excited.
So excited.
Just let me talk. Yes, this dragon is dangerous, deadly, a monster. But with the right training, we could harness his power for ourselves.
What are you saying? Like a pet?
No, yes, we could name it.
Thorne, imagine strolling up to the dungeon with this thing. Every door we kick down, this little monster will incinerate them with flames. Screw selling it. We'd raid every dungeon this side of Anorak Valley.
Murder and gold. Is that all it is with humans?
Arya, wait your turn. Thorne, how do you feel about this?
He helped with this idea.
I want to hear what he has to say. Thorne?
Well, it's not exactly what I was thinking, but Lizzie makes some great points.
And Thorne came up with a great name for the dragon. Tell them.
Gus! Gus the dragon!
The other members of the party exchange looks.
Is he drunk?
A wee bit.
Gus will be our pet dragon.
What the hell, Elizabeth? He's going to have a wild magic surge again.
Before the words have even left his mouth, Thorne explodes in a puff of dust. It settles around him, and everyone is shocked to see that his skin has turned a vibrant shade of blue.
I'm fine. I just blew myself up. Get it? Blue?
That wasn't as bad as last time. See? We're all fine.
You certainly haven't helped your pitch.
I'll get something to fix it.
I believe that would be me.
The cleric waves her hands, and a beam of light shines onto Thorne, melting the blue from his shirt.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so you two are for keeping it. These are certainly options.
I believe it's my turn to speak.
Not so fast! Let's see what the dice says. Dang.
Artie!
Fine. What's your pitch? Are we going to heal the dragon?
Quite the opposite. We are going to slay it.
Oh,
The table erupts in protest.
You can't kill it! It's innocent!
It may be innocent now, but as it grows, it will only become harder to kill, and in that time could level whole cities. Orin's right about one thing. Dragons are legendary beasts of destruction, and from what I can tell, this is a red dragon, one of the most dangerous.
You'd be killing a defenseless child. There is no honor in that.
But letting a beast like that live is an honorable act. Do you know what a red dragon such as this can do? I had thought a dwarf would know about the Battle of Dober Kur.
You think I don't know? I was there.
You've fought a dragon?
Awesome.
It was certainly not awesome. I watched my brothers and sisters fall around me as that monster burned its way through the halls of our fortress.
How can you sit there, even after seeing all that, and still think we shouldn't kill it?
Do you know, perchance, what heated the 1,000 forges of Dober Kur?
I know the legend. A volcano, right?
No, not a volcano. A dragon egg, just like the one before us now.
2 quick questions. 1, if it was hot enough to power 1,000 forges, how has it not burned the bar down yet?
Dragon eggs take decades to hatch, and a fresh dragon egg, it's hot enough to vaporize lead with a touch. This one seems to have cooled off quite a bit, which means it has hatching plans.
It does. And second, we don't have a week to go all the way back to a dungeon that we've already cleared out.
That's not a question.
If we waste a week taking it back, that's time we can't spend adventuring. Then we're down time, gold, and back where we started.
It wouldn't be a waste. It would be doing what's right.
What's right would be to slay it before it has a chance to slay anyone else.
Violence is not the answer here.
That's quite a shock coming from you, Mr. Warhammer.
It shouldn't be. Just because violence can solve your problem doesn't mean it's right.
He makes a good point. Arya, response?
Guys.
Yes, violence is not always the answer. But letting this creature live out of a sense of honor means that you are willing to let your personal moral code stand in between you and what's right.
Guys.
My personal moral code is shared by every dwarf who...
Guys!
What?
It's hatching.
The dwarf turns to the egg, along the surface of which a large crack has formed.
We're too late.
The chances of it being taken down by the 6 of us are quite low.
From the top of the egg, a red-scaled claw punches through. Everyone jumps up from their seats, weapons at the ready.
Here comes Gus!
The baby dragon pokes its snout through the hole, breathing heavily and pressing against the shell, having some trouble doing so.
He needs help.
Artie,
He's struggling. And besides, I'm fireproof, right?
Resistant. He walks forward to the egg, reaching towards where the snout is poking through.
Hey there, buddy.
The dragon sniffs him.
You need a little help?
The baby dragon shoots a little fire.
Oh, that's pretty hot. I'm going to try and free you from your shell, okay, buddy?
He snaps off a chunk of the shell, and the dragon inside finally uncurls himself out onto the table.
He's horrifying.
The dragon looks up to Artie, who is standing with his arms outstretched.
Come to Papa?
It leaps up into Artie's arms, knocking him to the ground and biting onto his shoulder.
Artie!
Wait!
Everyone's weapons are pointed at the creature. Orin's warhammer, Arya's staff, Elizabeth's wand, Corvo's daggers. Thorne is just pointing at it, trying to remember spells.
Oh, hey, buddy. You nibbling?
This isn't the time for jokes.
I think he's scared. I just want him to calm down.
He's a red dragon. His fury can't be quelled.
I've been listening to everyone else's suggestions. Can you all please just let me try? Lower your weapons.
And what if it kills you?
Avenge me?
The party looks at each other nervously, then carefully lowers their weapons.
Hey there, sport. Oh, yes, you're hungry, aren't you? Orin, you want to grab some meat from the cellar?
Make sure it doesn't eat you.
Oh, I'm trying.
The dragon stays latched onto the bard's shoulder. A small amount of blood has started to pool around Artie's shoulder. Despite this, he calmly strokes the dragon's scales, providing it with words of affirmation.
There, buddy. Oh, you have such a strong bite. I'm sure your parents would be very proud. I guess you were kind of abandoned when we found you.
The red dragon bites harder.
Hey, it's okay. I don't have parents either.
The dragon is curious and seems to be purring.
That's right. I'm an orphan, just like you.
Artie and the dragon make eye contact, sharing a moment and gaining some clarity. The dragon slowly releases Artie from its jaws, just sitting on his chest.
Oh, thanks. Arya, can you get my shoulder?
Of course.
She leans in cautiously, keeping a wary eye on the dragon. She mutters some words in a celestial tongue, and the wounds in his shoulder heal over as Orin climbs out of the cellar.
Well, he better like bacon.
Well, we know he likes tieflings.
So, what are we gonna do with the dragon? Kill it?
No. Orin was right. Trying to kill it when I suggested it would only have served to anger it. If only I had known.
Don't give me too much credit. I was using honor as an excuse for my own fear. Regardless, we still have this dragon to deal with. All right, Artie. What's your choice?
I think I have my decision.
All right. We'll start looking for ways to dragon-proof the bar.
No. I took this little guy from his home. I couldn't imagine where I'd be if someone had taken the tavern from me. And I can't do the same thing to a baby dragon, no matter how dangerous it's going to become.
I guess that's worth losing a week. At least you two will get to keep it as a pet for a little while.
The dragon looks at the bard, then back towards the door. Everyone else is distracted with talk.
I don't know about a pet. He seems kind of untamable.
The dragon slowly climbs off of Artie, happily sitting on the floor. Artie slowly peels himself off of the ground and slips to the door, grabbing his bag, his loot, and slipping away while everyone argues.
Untamable? Maybe. But hey, at least the bar won't get burned down.
Maybe it'll be an easier journey this time.
At least with the dragon in tow, I don't think we'll have to worry about getting robbed.
Yes, only the Thieves Guild would be stupid enough to rob someone who's with a dragon.
Well, at least the loot is counted. Let's get our feet on the ground as soon as we can. Ready, Artie? Artie?
Everyone looks around the bar. Somehow, Artie managed to sneak out without anyone noticing. Corvo runs to the door and sees his brother running down the street, loot in hand, with the dragon flying above behind him.
Well, there he goes. He'll be safe, right?
He's got a dragon with him. He'll be fine.
I hope so. I guess it's up to us to make the money this week.
We could always look around for odd jobs.
Thorne runs to the window.
Oh, Markas!
In the distance, the bard turns back to see his friends waving at him. He waves his loot back at them and then turns back to his traveling companion.
All right, buddy. Lead the way home.
And so it was that the bard found himself on the path back to the dragon's hoard, now joined by a baby dragon, which he has chosen to return back to its proper home. And that is where we leave you tonight. Tune in next week for the long rest, after the baby dragon Gus is returned. Until then, this is your Dungeon Master Robb, and we are Nerdz Garage. Thanks for tuning in.
The Long Rest features the talents of Robb Mann as your Dungeon Master, David Curtis as Corvo the Rogue, Zach Hanner as Artie the Bard, John Markas as Orin the Dwarf, Linda Carlisle Markas as Aria the Cleric, Jeff Phillips as Thorne the Gnome, Suzanne Ralke Smith as Elizabeth the Wizard, Derek Smith as Tharden the Dwarf and the Thieves Guild member. Creative Director is Dylan Smith. Special thanks to D&D Beyond, Wizards of the Coast, Michael Vancore, Justin Smith, Jason Aycock, Alice Morgan Sherwood, Nerdz Garage interns, and all the Nerdz Garage D&D players.